Hello, YouTubers. This is your boy DJ74 Life coming at you with a early morning video on how more easily to beat God of War Ragnarok, especially defeating the King Berserker and also the Valkyrie Queen. Um, those was very difficult. Uh, the Valkyrie Queen was easier uh, than the other. The king, I think the king was the hardest, maybe for some, maybe it isn't. Um, but I'm going to show you a build that I have used um, that from easiest to even to God mode. No, God mode, it's just God mode. It's hard. But if there's anybody out there that's putting out videos that you're completely invincible, that you cannot die, all of these things is not true. You could put the best uh, equipment together and you could be very strong. Um, or you can have a lot of defense and still not have the right weapons to defeat your enemies. What you want is something that is good with runic, cooldown, and different uh, things like that. That is what you need in God of War Ragnarok, which I want to show you a build. And I've watched people. Um, Now, here's the thing about it. People say, and they'll show they're on God mode, and they go in there and they beat uh, the main, they beat the king within 24 seconds. Now, something is suspect there. Yes, some people are just that good, and there's also some people that's just that good cheating. Now, I don't know how much uh, on the PS4 cheats. Now, if you have the PS4 where you can download the cheats, you have the PlayStation 4 game, and you add the cheats to that PS4 game, God of War Ragnarok, then you can go ahead and save it and move it over to your PS5 version of the God of War Ragnarok, and you're still going to have those cheat abilities. So when somebody says they have an invincible armor and you put on the exact same thing that they do, take a look in that top left corner and see if the strength and the defense is close to yours to see if it matches up. Because I want to tell you, a lot of people will put these uh, videos and say, well, they're invincible and all this and that. And like I said, the reason they do it is to get views for their videos. And again, they may have very good, uh, very good uh, suits and very good abilities and uh, everything like that. But again, when you start getting to see people saying they're invincible, you got to question it because I go on there and I see a lot. Everybody wants to be unlimited. Everybody wants to be invincible. But the best way, the best way to beat, to get better at God of War Ragnarok is to work with your cooldowns, your runics. All of these things are what's best to make you stronger, to be better, not because you could put the strength. And I'm going to show you just on some of the armor here with the chest armor. Look, you can see I'm using a Berserker Caress with only a 68 strength. Now, I can put on a defense of 190. Think about that. That's still not going to help you win the game. You can put all the defense you want. You can put all the offense. I can get offense as close as 600, defense 400 and some. Or I can go with defense around 600, offense around 400 and some, and still get the heck beat out of me. So I'm gonna give you just a little, little thing to tell you is that if somebody says their armor is invincible and you cannot die and you will not die, that's not true. It's not true. The only way that can happen, again, as I said, if you go down, download the PS4 cheats for the game, then, that could be a possibility. But anyway, I just want to hit it over here before I give you a little bit of gameplay. You see, I'm ranked number 9. My strength's only 279. My defense is 301, but here's what's big. The runic 295, my cooldown is 165, my vitality is 139, and my luck is 187. So basically, I'm on fire all the time. And even though I'm getting injured, I'm still healing myself at the same time. But anyway, with the Leviathan axe, um, I use the grip of the 9 realms. And the reason why is because of the rune, the cooldown, and the luck. You don't see the strength, you don't see the defense, but see, you're not going to need all of that defense as long as you got plenty of time shift. Um, and as long as you do this, use these types of equipment on your armor, you will see a big difference. Now, on my attacks, I use the uh, Skady's Edge, which you have a damage of 4, a frost of 3, and a stun of 1. But guess what? The cooldown is only 48 seconds. So I'm going to get my strength right back up. No more than I lose it. Not like Winter's Bite. Look, 36 seconds, but your damage is 3, your frost is 3, the stun is 2. The rest, the frost to the ancient is damage 5, frost 5. Do not get this equipment. You have to be close by when you're going against the boss, um, because I'm going to tell you this stuff just don't work. The Nord's Tempest, again, that's pretty good. But again, I go with this one because it really does damage and it continues to do damage for seconds, which will help you in a fight. Um, and it also is like a time shift as well. Now, on the heavy attack, I do use the Breath of Thamer with the damage 5, frost 3. The cooldown is 155 seconds, but with the equipment that I am using, it's a lot less than that. And the Breath of Thamar does a lot of damage. Um, I had more trouble using it against the King Berserker, uh, but like I said, heads up, I think the King Berserker was harder than the Valkyrie Queen. I beat the Valkyrie Queen just in 3 or 4 times. The Berserker took me a lot longer. But anyway, this is what I use for the Leviathan Axe. I beat them on level 8, so this is level 9. So whatever, if you could use level 7, anything like that, you should be able to take care of them. Now, on the Blades of Chaos, I use the pommels of the 9 realms. Why? The runic 26, vitality 26, the luck 26. And also, if I need to, an L1 triangle, just like the other, I can use a realm shift. And again, this is huge. This is very, very huge in a game. Now, on your attacks, I use the Flames of Anguish. Only a 48-second cooldown. It doesn't look like the damage is much, and the burn is 5, but you're going to do better than you can with the Cyclone of Psycho Chaos. And the reason why is the enemy just so quickly will get out of the way. The Helios Flare is a 36-second cooldown, which it still is it does more damage than you think. The Hades Retribution with the damage 4, burn 4, 30 seconds cooldown, um, does more damage than you think. But again, I stick with the Flames of Anguish because with all the runic and the cooldown that I have, it restores very, very quickly, which I will show you. In the heavy tunic attack, I use Tame the Beast. Um, Here, I see a lot of people use the Meteor Slam. um, which it shows around 120 seconds um, in cooldown. It shows your damage 4, burn 3, stun 2. But again, if it's one of those like the king or the queen and they move really quickly and you don't get it off, well, they're going to move and get out of the way, and you're going to miss a lot of your hits. Now, also the I liked the Atlas eruption, damage 4, burn 5. I think that's very good. But again, the enemy so easily seems to escape that. Now, the Nemean Crush, um, it works fairly well. The cooldown's only 71 seconds. Um, the Tartarus Rage, I see a lot of people use that. But again, my go to is Tame the Beast. And the reason that is, it does 5 damage, 2 burn, and 2 stun. And with all the runic that I have, um, and vitality and cooldown, it refills very, very quickly. Now, if we go to the spear, the Drofnir spear, I use the Hind of the Nine Realms. Again, runic, vitality, cooldown. This is what it's all about, is these 3 abilities. Like I said, you can have all the strength and defense that you want, but if you don't have your health and your rage and everything coming back while you're in, especially if you're in trouble in a fight, these are things you must have. Um, and that's why this build is so good. Um, when it comes to the light runic attack, I use the Mountain Splitter. Damage 5, a force of 3, a stun of 1. Um, I like it the best. It seems to do the most damage. Um, I used to use the Whisper in the World. Um, I still like it. The Thrust of 1,000 Soldiers, didn't like that one. The Huldra Charge, I didn't see a lot of damage. So, like I said, I stick with the Mountain Splitter. 71 seconds and cooldown. That's what I go with. On the heavy runic attack, I have chosen the Finger of Ruin. Because you look at it, 5 damage, 4 force, 3 stun. And then you're going to say, well, the cooldown's 155 seconds. No, with all the runic and the vitality and the cooldown and luck that I have put together, this fills up very, very quickly. So, again, for the ones that tell you that you can be invincible, like I said, it's just not a fact. Now, on a shield, I have found out that I think the best shield is Dauntless Shield. You have a defense of 130 and a cooldown of 26. Now, I have went with Stonewall Shield. I went with Shatterstar Guardian Shield, uh, Onslaught Shield, and these are great shields. But the Dauntless Shield, when you are trying to evade and get out of the way, it helps you to defend better. Um, when you're especially when you're trying to move out from the boss. Now the shield attachment, I go with the Rond of Fortification. Um, I like the Rond of the Nine Realms, uh, but it's just luck that goes up. It doesn't have that vitality, that kind of thing. Your defense goes down, so I go with the Rhonda fortification because that really seems to be the best. It's defense 63, um, and like I said, you just like I said, this is just me. Everybody has their own opinion, but again, Spartan Rage, I go with Wrath, and here's why I don't go with Fury. You press L3 and R3 and you click into your rage, and all you do is punch and kick. And with the King boss, it really doesn't help too much. And then again, if you get caught in a situation, it's hard to click L3R3 again to come out of your rage. And you pretty much use all of your rage up. Uh, Valor, uh, you consume a chunk of Spartan Rage to gain a moderate burst of health, uh, and all this and that. And again, uh, this does help with healing and melee attack bonuses. Um, I really like the Valor, but I like the Wrath better because when you use the Wrath, you're actually, instead of hitting with your fists and your legs, you're actually hitting them with your weapons. And it may, and it, like I said, if you're in a tough shape in a bad place and you need to break free, you just click the L3R3 and you go into it. And when you do it, what it does, it just uses a little bit of your rage, but it brings you out of being in trouble. And you do damage to the enemy. Plus, again, uh, I advise you always go with Wrath um, when you get it. When it comes to the relic, I got two different ones. When you fight the Queen, um, I'm going to tell you to go with the hilt of, I don't know, I don't want to butcher the name, but Sopnung, um, because the cooldown is 210 seconds when I used to use the other armor. But when I went to this armor and started, like I said, runic, cooldown, vitality, luck, the cooldown became so much shorter. Instead of 210 seconds, we're talking about less than 60 seconds. Um, but if you fight, uh, when you fight the Berserker, um, I would tell you to go with the hilt of Hofud, which is your realm shift. Um, your cooldown is 168 seconds. And don't get me wrong, you could use the realm shift also on the Valkyrie Queen. You could still do a lot of damage, but you'll be surprised of how much damage this is. Now, for Freya, on her sword, I use the Mardoil sword, um, which gives melee attack, strike with speed, and inflict greatly increased Bifrost on enemies. I really like that. And once you defeat the Queen, you will get a new. Not only will you get a new summon, you will get a new attire. And the Queen's Roar is totally awesome. It's the best runic summon that she has. Um, and this is the one I tell you, once you unlock it, you will like it. But until you unlock it, um, I usually, to me, uh, I went with Invoke the Storm. That's what I'd use to get past the Valkyrie. But again, that's for later on. Um, Now, when we go into the armor, this is the very most important thing, the chest armor. You see the Berserker Caress, why I use it. You got a strength 68, defense 27, but look what else you have. Runic 41, cooldown 41, vitality, luck, both 41. Now, is that the strongest suit? No. Look, I got a defensive suit, the Steinborn placket, which is 190 defense, and it still doesn't work like it would. Now, the Dragon Scaled Breastplate, which is 95 strength, 95 defense, it does better. Um, the Suture Scorched Cuirass, that's also does pretty good. And look at this one. The Vidar's Pauldron of Might, you get a strength of 116 and a defense of 68, and still you can't hardly do anything because look, on the top left of the screen, your runic dropped to 41. Everything, cooldown, vitality, luck, all this dropped to 41. And I'm telling you, there's so many great, even the Hunters, Paudrin, Strength 95, Defense 48, Cooldown 61 is a good one. But I'm telling you, Berserker Caress is what I went with. Um, Let me get hers first. The Freya armor, I go with the Queen's armor. Now, uh, once beat the Valkyrie Queen and unlocked it and give it to her. Before then, I used the Warriors battle dress. Yeah, that's what I used before, until I unlocked the Queen's armor. And her accessories, man, there's so many to pick from, but I used the rune engraved release, which is the first runic era from a full quiver, deals greatly increased damage. Upgrades increase the damage dealt. The sigil amplification, sigil arrows deal significantly increased status, and the sigil punishment, melee attacks against an enemy afflicted with hex deal significantly increased damage. And the one main reason I use these two is I have them up to like level 3, so that's mainly why I use them. Now the wrist armor for Kratos, I use the Berserker gauntlets. Um, Again, you got strength, you got your runic vitality, cooldown, luck, everything identical. Now I can go with, look, Steinboard gauntlets. I can get 85 defense, but look where my strength goes. The Suitor's scorched armor, look, strength 94, vitality 30. This one's 115 strength. Still, it doesn't help me any at all because of the runic, the cooldown, the vitality, and the luck is so, is just so far down. So anyway, that's why I use the wrist armor. On the waist armor, um, I use the Berserker waist guard. Now I did kind of go backwards and forwards with the Steinboard waist guard because its defense was 119. But again, the runic, the vitality, the cooldown, and the luck means just too much. The man's belt of wisdom, I think, was really good. And you see the fortified husk girdle, 119 defense. Um, Again, but the most important thing is to worry about your runic, your vitality, cooldown, and luck. Now the amulet. I see people, they'll use 3 of the Midgards. They'll use 3 Asgards. They'll use 3 of the Vanaheims, or 3 of the Swartlheims, or the Muspelheims, or Niflheims, uh, Alfheims. You got all of these to choose from. And Helheims, all of these, Jotunheims. Um, but I don't use not even one of them, because these mainly split apart too much. You have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 slots. You have 9 slots to try to work with your cooldown, your runic, everything together. Um, and to me, it just didn't work. So I went with Stone Idol of Souls. Uh, that helps you on, which I'm going to show you about, how it brings back the cooldown of that runic. That's why I use it. Look, luck 187/70 perk active. That, like I said, Emblem of Illusion, which helps you be fast. You will gain a burst of speed and travel and increase distance when invading. That's why I choose that. I also choose Fossilized Keepsake. Why? Because the perk requirements is a cooldown of 165 or 175. So again, that's why I use that, because it says slowly regenerate a protective barrier that absorbs a single attack. When the barrier is destroyed, it emits a concussive shockwave that stuns the nearby enemies. So either way you have it, you're going to do some damage. I also choose the Boon of Wrath. because the Spartan Rage, the Wrath activation, Shockwave consumes status effects on nearby enemies to cause massive damage. The Celestial Panika, this is why I use it. 25% resistance to all status effects. 25% is a lot. This includes frost, burn, blind, daze, poison, shock, and biofrost. The next one I use is the token of elemental invasion, because when you are dodging, it helps you big time when you're dodging. When you double tap the X, and again, the perk active, it helps the defense, and like I said, this is all to do to help cool down and the runics, the vitality, and the luck. And I also use uh, the greater regeneration essence, which it adds a greater amount of constant health regeneration. That means constantly I am getting regenerated health. But I also say put in the regeneration essence too. It adds a small amount of constant health regeneration. So those both together, you're getting even more. And the final one, which, I just chose this one, the Crest of Desperate Heroics. And the reason I did is because it's just when Kratos' health drops to a critical level, grants a short invincible barrier, buff to strength, and health burst when complete. So if you're ready to die and you get that shield, that invincible barrier to help you to continue when you're fighting your enemies, it's huge. It's just huge. And anyway, I'm going to show you. I don't have any rage, because I'm just going to show you some of the things that, and you'll be surprised the damage that. And see, I don't know. I'm just going to go with. Let's just pick this. Alright, let's see. I want to show you what I'm talking about. I got to survive 5 minutes here. Let's see what we can do. Now I'm going to try to show you my room. This is why I love this stuff. Look at the damage that it does. Look. Man, that's like playful. Look at that. Again, how can you not like it here? You see? And it's just, to me, it's almost like cheating, in my opinion. But now I want to show you what I use for runic on the blades. I think it's pretty good. Okay. And look, he gives me a big hit. You can already tell no damage is done. Look at the difference that you get. And like I said, you're not ever going to be a difference. But that's why people make these videos to get you to watch it. Okay? Now let's go to the frost. What I like about this one is just like, if you want to do a damage on a ball, this is why I like it. Because you can point at it. I can point at this one. And it'll throw axes and throw them 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 like she's doing this. Which helps me all the way around. Now, if you hit L1 and hold square, she'll do her boss move. Then use your breath of the merge, which again does awesome damage. You go to the spear. Now you can see that my cooldown has almost already got my blades runic up already. But what spear? This is why I like that part of the spear. It continues to do damage too. If you hit again, continues to do damage. That's what you get. Now, all of my runic is done back on my blades, and it's back members. How long it was. And again, I think like I said, I think it's me. That's why I think it's the best build. Alright, it's not like I'm playing this on God mode or anything like that, so don't let nobody tell you that I'm saying that. Now, as you can see, I had a little bit of rage. Now, I want to tell you, I want to show you something. You're in trouble, hit your rage. It'll work for that little bit of damage. And I lost that little bit of rage, but if that rage was full, it'll continue to build back up. But again, you see all the damage that I'm doing here. And look, I haven't even lost that much health, but here comes an idiot jumping in the back. Let's see, we already got one of ours, which killed this dude. Now we go to my Bifrost. Already got something there, new there. Take care of them. And again, as you look, my cooldown is already done dropped. Look, I done got my spear back already, doing damage. That's huge. See the damage that the spear does? I like this spear. It actually does a lot of damage with the Valkyrie. So, be surprised. And again, let me show you here's what I'm talking about. See the damage that it did? It's almost not fair, you know, but this is like it is. But again, I've done already got these back. Look, he's dead. Another one dead, and you notice that the blades are following me the whole time. Look at my health. It's automatically regenerated, which is huge. And an idiot on my back. Like I said, you can't get perfectly no damage, but the thing about it is, you can get good enough, yeah, you can fight not do damage and all that, but my goal is to defeat my enemy. So, if that's not enough to tell you that this is a good build, later on I'm going to do a video where I will fight the King Berserker, and I will fight the Queen Valkyrie. But the reason I do these after you've done beat them all is because you get so much more things that you need to buy, to buy more equipment. The blazing embers, very big, glowing embers. Divine ashes are huge. The XP 1,000, hack silver 100,000. I'm telling you, if you get low in hack silver and stuff, after you've done beat all the Muspelheim trials, just come here, mess around, and get you some extra help. And like I said, I could show you more, and I will. I'll show you just a little bit, just to prove my point. I see the Phantom Challenge. Okay, I don't know if y'all ever played God of Ragnerok. Have you played one of these aggravating Phantom? See, he hits me. Look at that. He hits me. There's no damage done to him. And I'm not even using blocking, okay? I won't block. Look at that. No damage. Look at that. Hardly no damage. Come on, man. And what I like about the Phantom.
Need to take out those springs, brother.
And like you said, the ones I showed you, I like that. I really do. No, here's one of your favorites. Let's do a little bit of ice throwing on this guy. Now let's go ahead and let's just mix it all up. Let's just mix it up. Because all my stuff is going to come back quick anyway. So that really is done. You know, look at the health. That's all I've used. Now see how I'm on fire when I picked up that health? That's because of the runic, the cooldown, and the vitality.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
That in itself proves my point. And look, everything's almost already back. Look at that. The damage that is done. And again, I like this gear to a certain extent.
Attack!
As you see, I'm not even using defense, man. Look, no damage. Come on, man. Look at that. Hardly no damage. It's going to regenerate quicker. It's going to beat me down.
Give yourself an opening! Don't waste it!
Really quickly. Bust that down.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
I hate these guys right here. They can be heavy.
Down!
Well, actually, I'm going to be heavy. I'm just going to slice them.
From behind! Incoming!
I'm not hardly doing no work, man. Look at that. He hit me twice.
You're on fire,
And I'm on
Kratos.
fire.
It will fire.
And I'm still alive. And all of that. Just to crush. And it's complete. And again, this is what I say. Try this build. Go back. Try it for yourself. Again, you look at it to show I'm not cheating. I'm on level 9. Strength 279, defense 301, runic 295, cooldown 165, vitality 139, and luck 187. So anyway, I hope you good luck out there playing God of Ragnarok. Hopefully this will help you if you're especially having trouble with the King, Berserker, and the Valkyrie Queen. Anyway, we want to thank you YouTubers. This is your boy DJ7 for life, and we are going to bounce. Peace.